Supersport 600 class, possibly the most closely fought of all the classes here today. Last year it was a one-make class, the Honda CBR Challenge, but for 1989 it's been thrown open to all. So each of the four main Japanese factories are represented there. Across the front, Suzuki's Jamie Whittam, next to him Rodney. In the middle, number 8 Mike Edwards. Howard Selby goes on number 32, and number 44 there, Jeff Johnson, who really goes well on the 600. Jamie Whittam, the 1988 production champion on his Suzuki. We expect him to go well. With me in the commentary point is Roger Burnett, winner of the two main races here today at Donington. I'll bring Roger in for some informed comment as the riders get a bit twitchy there, and we have a full start. Roger, the tension at this point must be pretty tricky. It's absolutely incredible. I know exactly what they're going through. They're so eager to get away and be first into that first corner, Redgate, that they're all trying to jump the lights. On the front row, there is only less than half a second separating their qualifying speeds, and would you believe there are no less than 15 riders within 1 second of qualifying. So that underlines what I say about the closeness of this class. There really is nothing to choose between them as they stream off down to Redgate. For the first time, I can see Whittam there in the middle of the pack, but as they emerge from Redgate, we'll pick up our leader. But it was a Team Green rider going through, and a faller down in a big way. Looked like 44, Jeff Johnson. Now that's bad luck for Jeff, but he picks himself up. He's okay, fit and well. Jeff Johnson was down in the dirt. That was tough for him because he was on the front row. We're seeing it again. The front end went away, Jeff Johnson went down. These machines are on standard road tyres, so a fair amount of commitment is necessary. Number 31 it is, 𝙬𝙤𝙡 for the Kawasaki team from Luton takes the early lead. Roger, these 600s, is this a class you've had much to do with?
No, it's not actually, Barry. It's a very, very thoughtfully close class, though. I know it proved hot competition last year. There are some very, very good riders in this series, and Jeff Johnson was one of the most prominent riders in it, and unfortunately, as we've seen him go down.
Well, that's a pity. The fact that these bikes are virtually production bikes does, of course, allow the privateer a chance to get among the action, but nevertheless, there are some factory-assisted riders in here, and 𝙬𝙤𝙡 is one of them. 𝙬𝙤𝙡, who put in a 112-mile-an-hour lap round the Isle of Man last year on the production bike, leading the race. In second place, number 15, Jim Moody on the Honda. So Moody on the Honda in second, the leader on the Kawasaki, 𝙬𝙤𝙡. But the second place man coming under pressure now from the rider in third. We'll get that number as soon as we can. And that's number 8, that's Mike Edwards on a Yamaha. So we have 3 different makes in the first 3 positions. Roger, the Yamahas and the Kawasaki's are unknown quantities as far as I'm concerned, but they do seem to be competitive.
Yes, they do. All the manufacturers now seem to build these machines to compete in this class. They're all very, very quick. I think in standard road trim, they do something like 154 miles an hour.
Well, that is astonishing, and of course this sort of racing really is a mobile showroom as far as the manufacturers are concerned, because the business is about selling motorbikes to the man in the street. That's why factories go racing, for research and development, and also to promote the product, and 𝙬𝙤𝙡 is promoting the Kawasaki very well at the moment. Second place, Mike Edwards. Number 15 there, Jim Moody. So Edwards sneak through to second as they go past the commentary point. So it's 𝙤𝙡 leading from Edwards, number 8 Moody down there in third, and the 4th place man, number 16 Brian Nicholson, riding another factory Honda from Mortlake in London. Started his racing career in 1984, was 6th in the Honda Cup last year, so he knows all about riding the 600cc class. Number 31, race leader 𝙬𝙤𝙡, 27 years of age, looking good. 𝙬𝙤𝙡 taking the early advantage. Mike Edwards it is in second place, Jim Moody in third, number 16 Brian Nicholson, Jamie Whittam on the Suzuki down there in 5th, and Eric McFarlane, number 48, on the Loctite Yamaha in 6th. So we really do have a mixture as Jamie Whittam sat up. What's the problem with that corner, Roger? They do seem to have some troubles there.
Unfortunately, my compatriot who I've been racing hard against today, Terry Reimer, managed to spill oil there, and it's a very tight line into the corner now, and as you would see then, Jamie Whittam on the Suzuki managed to just lose the front end and correct it, and was very lucky not to come down.
Well, Rodney Knapp took advantage of that, and Rodney Knapp, and we're going to see it now. This is where Whittam got into trouble. There was a problem there, but Whittam hung on to it, but Rodney Knapp sneaked past, so Knapp is now ahead of Whittam as the race leaders come down to Craner Curves. Ray Swan still in the lead, number 31, Ray Swan. In second place, it's still number 8, Mike Edwards from Wigan, the 1988 British Junior Stock champion, 27 years of age, Mike Edwards, going well and closing now on 31, Ray Swan. So Swan having to look to his laurels to keep the Team Green Kawasaki ahead of the fiercely quick Yamaha of Edwards. Swan, Edwards. It looks to me as though the third place man is now Nicholson, but I shall confirm that. Nothing between these two, and here it is. Edwards is on the inside of Swan, and he's there. He squeezes through out of Goddard's. Mike Edwards in the lead, storekeeper from Wigan, and Swan fighting back, and the battle there emerging as well for third and fourth. Ray Swan getting aggressive. He's on the inside of Mike Edwards. He's back in front. Swan, Roger, this really is a ding-dong.
This is an excellent race. Of course, Mike Edwards has got the experience of having Charlie Williams as one of his sponsors and mentors. Charlie, some 7 or 8 times TT, Isle of Man TT winner, and a very, very competent rider in the late 70s and early 80s. And of course, Mike Edwards is tutor, so Mike has got very good tuition, and he's obviously proving dividends here today.
Well, he's looking good, but just look how close this leading four, the group of 4, nothing between them. Down there, number 16, Brian Nicholson in 4th place, but number 23, Rodney Knapp on the Yamaha, battling his way through. We thought Rodney Knapp might go well. He started on the front row, he's down in 3rd, but looking good. He's really closing on Edwards now. And Rodney Knapp moves over, but look at them. Knapp, in one stroke, takes the lead coming up to Goddard. So Knapp, Edwards, that was an amazing move by Rodney Knapp, number 23, on the Yamaha from Heston in Middlesex. Rodney Knapp, he won and seems to go very well in front of the television cameras, because he won the senior stock race at Carnaby last year, and he's doing it again today for us. 22 years of age, had a good result yesterday in the Northwest 200 in Northern Ireland. Superb by Rodney Knapp. He appears, Roger, to be a very talented young man.
He does. It was an excellent manoeuvre, that, and a very, very brave one. I'm pleased I wasn't in that bunch then. It looked pretty horrendous from where I'm sitting. He came through on the inside out, braked them all, and just flopped it into the chicane, made it look so easy.
Knapp, of course, his roots are in New Zealand. Going well in the UK, only 22, and a twitch there, and I jumped because it looked to me as though Brian Nicholson was going to drop it, but he stayed on, number 16, Nicholson. Whittam is there, still in 5th. They are so close, lap 6, Knapp leads, Edwards is 2nd, Swan in 3rd, early race leader, Nicholson still in 4th, Jamie Whittam, and Ray Stringer, the man who rode so well in the Suzuki Cup last year, and back into the lead goes Mike Edwards. And again, side by side, Knapp and Edwards past the commentary point down towards Redgate, and Ray Swan is in there as well, fighting. So Ray Swan has by no means given this one up. It's going to go all the way to the end of the race. Ray Swan still on the inside in 2nd. The camera angle is deceptive. Which one will emerge going down to Craner Curves? What a terrific race this is. Rodney Knapp, Mike Edwards, Yamaha, leads Kawasaki and Honda. Nicholson still in fourth, but Rodney Knapp away in the lead. Roger, these race distances, 15 laps, are they ideal for this sort of racing?
I think it's an ideal race time. I think at once 10 laps have gone by, positions have got pretty much sorted out. Having said that, in this we've got now nearly 6 that have come into challenge for the lead, and I think this race could go on for 50 laps and it would still be as close.
It really is amazing. Ray Stringer and a faller. There's a faller. The rider is on his feet, picking his bike out of the gravel. Not very pleased with the proceedings now. Number 16, that's, or is it 18? No, it's not, it's 16. It looks like Brian Nicholson is off. So Brian Nicholson, that elevates everyone up one place because Nicholson was in fourth, so he's gone, but he's okay. Rodney Knapp from Mike Edwards and Ray Swan. So that means now the new fourth place man is Ray Stringer. Ray Stringer there in fourth. And closing. So Stringer, number 17, and closing from Nuneaton on the Yamaha. He had 127 club wins in 1986, and he won the Suzuki Cup round in Britain last year. Finished and still trying to get machinery out of the gravel, number 17. That's Ian Duffus. We expected big things from him, but he's gone motocrossing. And he's no longer on the circuit, but just look at the race leaders, the first 4, nothing between them. Jamie Whittam has also the leaderboard, number 69, so it has gone. But still, Mike Edwards narrowly leads Rodney Knapp. Roger, this is turning out to be some race.
It's absolutely incredible. Of course, what the rider anticipate is I don't think they've ever done 15 laps on these tyres before, which are production tyres. In these conditions, so I think that's an unknown quantity, and as we get to the end of the race I think we're going to see some pretty horrific slides coming from them.
Well, they're brave men, as you say, and the speeds from these 600cc 4-strokes are amazing. They certainly are piling on the coals round here. Don't forget, Roger made the point, standard road tyres, and Ray Swan flicking his knee out on the inside of Rodney Knapp. But still, number 8, Mike Edwards, heading the pack. Ray Stringer is there still in fourth. And it looks to me as though Ray Stringer is lining up Ray Swan to make a bid. Roger, what do you know of Stringer's capabilities?
I think they're all hard men. I think we've got Mike Edwards at the front, who's just made a slight break now. You would notice that we saw Brian Nicholson fall off, who was on a Honda. I think they're probably struggling a little bit. We've got Edwards and Knapp on Yamahas and Swan on a Kawasaki. No Suzuki in the picture at all. Or Mesmella there coming in 5th place on the first Suzuki. So looks like it's Yamaha's race at the moment.
Well, the 4th race battle is developing as we predicted, and Ray Stringer and Ray Swan are really sorting themselves out. This is number 10, Phil Mellor. This is number 8, Mike Edwards. Behind him, number 23, Rodney Knapp. There is Ray Swan, and there is Ray Stringer. Mellor 5th and closing. So, Roger, you were talking about the Suzuki, but it's coming onto the leaderboard. It's coming into the frame.
Yeah, it's coming in well. Phil Mellor's got a lot of experience on these production machines, and don't rule him out of winning, even though he looks a long way back. Don't rule him out of winning.
Well, number 10, Mellor, 35 years of age from Huddersfield. This is the man. 3 TT wins to his credit and countless British championships. A very, very experienced home rider, Phil Mellor, in 5th place, and that's how close they are. This is the 3rd and 4th place battle between Swan and Ray Stringer, number 17. The sun now streaming down here again at Donington. Tucking himself in behind the fairing, Ray Swan, under the bridge, up towards the right-hander, and alongside and on the inside comes Ray Stringer. Out breaks Ray Swan, so up into 3rd place for the first time, number 17. Ray Stringer on the Yamaha, running wide on the exit, nearly handed it back to Ray Swan on a plate. Which one of them will get the verdict round here? Roger?
Ray Swan's a hard man. I think he's going to try and switch. Oh, he's gone very wide there, so Stringer's got the advantage. Ray Swan's just probably going to come up the inside now and try as we go down into Craner Curves, but as I say, the Yamaha seems to have the power advantage here. We've now got 3 Yamahas, first, second and third. So I think it looks like Yamaha's race.
Well, that's the point. It hadn't occurred to me, but they do seem to have the edge on speed. And Stringer now stretching that advantage over Swan to some 3 or 4 lengths, but that is merely a fraction of a second and matters not at this point in the race, because there's still some way to go with the race leader, number 8, Mike Edwards, number 23, Rodney Knapp, both Yamaha mounted, nothing between these two. Phil Mellor there still in 5th, and number 7, Dave Leach on another Yamaha from Halifax has moved up into 6th place. If things stay as they are, Mike Edwards is going to collect the 10 points and the £350 that go with this race, but I wouldn't put a fraction of that prize money on that at this moment, because Rodney Knapp is a very determined campaigner indeed and needs the win. 4 laps to go, including the one the riders are on, but Stringer there still in 3rd. Swan in 4th. Tremendous action here from Ray Stringer. And Race 1 stalking him and slipping through on the inside. Race 1 again up to 3rd place. Took it back from Stringer. Thank you very much, he said. That was a nice one. I'll take it. Roger, at what point in the race will the tyres become a bit awkward?
I would have thought any time now, judging from my races, once we've got past the 10-lap mark, the riders will now be trying hard to push. It's getting towards the end of the race. Edwards will be trying to get away from Rodney Knapp, and likewise the other way around. And the dice also for 2nd and 3rd place. They'll all be trying to get away, and that's when they'll push and the tyres could give way.
Rodney Knapp in 2nd place, sitting up, following Mike Edwards through there, almost stalking him onto the straight. At the end of lap 12, they are on lap 13 now. Hurtling down past, and just look at Phil Mellor coming up among the action. So Phil Mellor now into 4th place, puts Stringer back, so the Suzuki of Mellor doing something for Mick Grant and his team here today. Suzuki up to 4th. So Yamaha lead, Yamaha 2nd, Kawasaki 3rd, Suzuki 4th. Number 17, another Yamaha in 5th, but Phil Mellor now really putting the cat among the pigeons and chasing Swan. A quick glance over the shoulder from Ray Swan. 27 years of age, Mellor's right with him. Phil Mellor wants that 3rd place and is making his intention very clear, and a twitch from Ray Swan. Roger, could that be tyres?
I think it's definitely tyres. The tyres will be getting very sloppy now. These are really pushing it. Phil Mellor's now putting Race 1 under tremendous pressure, and it's Suzuki versus Kawasaki. And as you can see, they're nearly side by side going down the straight. Mellor's taken Race 1's slipstream, and I think he's going to go into the chicane.
Well, Mellor there on the inside line. No, he's not. He switched it. Race 1 has closed the door, so Phil Mellor still in 4th, but pushing hard, and all 3 riders running very, very wide as they exit Goddard's. But Mellor on the inside of Swan, and Mellor it is, up to 3rd. So Phil Mellor on the Suzuki in 3rd place. Ray Stringer now is having a go at Ray Swan. What a tremendous race this is. These 3, nothing separating them. Lap 14. 1 lap to go at the end of this one. 3rd, 4th and 5th. Mellor, number 10. Swan, number 31. And 17, Stringer. Still with them. 25, Ian McConaughey, has exited this race, so his Supersport 600 race is run as Ray Stringer winds that Yamaha up just to see if there's anything at all left, anything he can do. Roger Burnett, this is quite one of the most exciting races I've seen in a long time.
It's absolutely fantastic to watch. Of course, the interesting thing is now Mike Edwards, who's leading the race, is now the new lap record holder at 1 minute 17.9, and Rodney Knapp, who is close behind him now, number 23, is the ex-lap record holder. He held the lap record before this race started, and now Mike Edwards has taken the advantage at 1 minute 17.9.
So lap records are tumbling here at Donington today, and the Supersport 600 race is no exception as Mike Edwards heads Rodney Knapp on the last lap. Casting shadows on the tarmac, but it's Edwards and Knapp, nothing to choose between them. Roger, very briefly, has Knapp got anything left into the dying seconds of this?
I think we've got to watch this into the chicane, because for sure he's good on the brakes. We've seen him make that manoeuvre earlier in the race, and he's going to have a go at Edwards definitely down into the chicane.
On to the fastest stretch of the course. But it looks as though Knapp is a little bit adrift of Edwards and isn't getting the tow. He's not in the slipstream. Up to the chicane now. Edwards leads Knapp. Knapp is close, but has he got close enough? It doesn't look like it. A sprint to the line. Number 8, Mike Edwards, a fist in the air. A well-fought second place. Absolutely delighted. And this is third. Jamie Wood, Phil Miller, fourth race stringer. Race 1 ended up 5th. Here's the race leader, number 8, Mike Edwards on the Yamaha. A stunning performance. What a race. Overall result, Mike Edwards, number 8, the winner. Rodney Knapp in second. A well-fought third for Phil Mellor, number 10. Ray Stringer, 4th. Poor old Race 1, 5th at the end. And number 7, Dave Leach, 6th. And final point scorer.